Hello, great people, and welcome to the CJ Scott. This is that space within which we have transformation, inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. TIME is the acronym. It's been a while since we've done some of these videos again with you, but I'm so glad to be back into this space and into your space and bring you into the CJ Scott today. Well, I am your host, and you know that CJ Atemo, that's my name. Well, I want to have a conversation with you today around leadership. So I title my talk today, Conversations About Leadership, because you see, I'm a believer, and I've done this with you before, and I'm a believer that each one of us is a leader. Every single one of us is a leader, because leadership is about vision and is about decision. So each one of us is faced with decisions that we've got to make every day. Anytime you're making decisions, you are involved in leadership. So those decisions that are at a personal level. There are decisions that are at an organizational level. There are those decisions that are corporate level, So either you're dealing with teams, organizations, you're dealing with groups, you in churches, you in the marketplace, whatever it is. But then there's those ones that are at a personal level. And most of the time, most people will struggle with personal leadership because of the inability to make decisions concerning life. Now, we spend a lot of time in school studying what we want to be in the future. So people gear towards careers, they gear towards the kind of jobs that they would want to have, and mostly because they're thinking about the kind of money they need to earn. When I was growing up, then we would be told you need to get a good job, because when you get a good job, then you will earn good money. You'll be able to live a good life, and you will help your parents, you will help your family, you'll help everybody else. So the motivation then of working hard was to get a good job. You get good grades, you get a good job, and then you're going to have a good life. And so most people then were never trained how to just make personal decisions, because there's this format, there's this plan, there's this path that is already set out, so people follow it. Even the nature of the system would be that you study and then you're given options. Question number one, there are 4 options, so there's guided thinking. So when there are those options, then which one of the following is this? And then there is A, B, C, and D. So there's that guided thinking. Now, sometimes in life does not give you those kind of clear options. Sometimes you've got to make decisions and there is no roadmap. There is absolutely no clarity to what you want to do and which way you need to take. And that's where it becomes difficult for a lot of people then to make decisions, because they are used to being guided in decisions. They're used to being led into decisions, or they're used to decisions being made for them and then they take an option. But life will always throw you into places where you have to make decisions in things that you are not trained in. For example, I do things with relationships, and I know that one of the areas that, for example, people do not know what to do is relationships, because there's never been a subject or a study, something that they did in school formally concerning that. So you go out over there, you're meeting people, different personalities, you're meeting people who are coming from different backgrounds, and now you're faced with decisions that you need to make, and you do not have a textbook. So you have got to go back and begin to look for what is somebody saying about this. So I want to talk to you about a place where you're making your personal decisions and some of the things that guide your personal decisions, because most decisions that we make are unique to us, and this is how different people will make their different decisions, and you must be able to make decisions at a personal level. One of the things that will influence the decisions that you make is your personality. It's your personality. We all have different personality traits. The people who are very outgoing, the people who are a bit more enclosed, the people who are abrasive, the people who will love to be very subtle in places. And that kind of personality is going to guide the decisions that they make, because you generally are going to make decisions that favor the kind of person that you are. For example, if you're an outgoing person, most of the decisions that you will make, for example, in your spending, you want to have your free time, so you need to go out and unwind. So where do you want to go? You're going to go where there are people. That decision has been determined by the personality that you carry, because that's where you feel most comfortable. So you're going to make a decision to go to a place that is noisy. Somebody else is going to make a decision, I'm going to spend my free time studying a book, because they are probably people who love to be enclosed. So these two people, if they are even in a place where they are friends, or they are family, or they are relating, or they are married, when they're making decisions on, for example, how to spend their free time, you will see that one person feels like the best way to spend the free time is to go out over there. And another one is feeling like, why don't I get a book in here? And so you are making decisions that are based on your personality. The second thing that influences decisions is people's peers, the peers that people have. Sometimes you didn't even need something, but then your friends say, let's do this, or let's buy this, or you need to get this over and over time. I've had people, talk to me in different stages of life, and they say, now you are at the stage where you need to acquire this, or you need to do this, or you need to be able to do this. If you do not have the ability, to make your own personal judgment, you're going to allow peers to influence the decision-making process. And sometimes that's how people get into debt. That's how people get into trouble, because they were trying to keep up with the Joneses. They were trying to keep up with everybody else who's doing something. So you seem to be the only one that is not driving in the office. You seem to be the only one who lives on one side of town. You seem to be the only one who's doing things in a certain way. And so you need to fit in. So you are making your decision based on peers. And there's a lot of people who are influenced by their peers to make decisions. There is also the element of, preparedness. And the quality of your decisions will be based on how prepared you are to make those decisions. The quality of your decisions will be based on how prepared you are to make those kind of decisions. So sometimes somebody feels like, I wasn't aware about this. I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware that I needed to do this. Give me some time so that I think. So it may lead them into a place of indecisiveness. Or if they were really prepared for it, then they can take a leap. Like you want to jump out of your career, get into another thing that you want to do, make a move, shift, you want to relocate, you want to do that. It mostly depends on your preparedness. So sometimes you even feel like you need to take a move, you need to take a leap, you need to do something new, but then you keep on feeling like you're not prepared. So your preparedness is a determinant in your decision-making process. And those who feel less prepared make fewer decisions, or they remain indecisive for a long time. The reason behind that is that there is always the element of the fear of the unknown. And so somebody wants to know, if I move, if I do something different, if I take a shift, how is that going to translate to me in terms of my daily life, in terms of my comfort, in terms of my conveniences, in terms of my relationships and my connection? So sometimes that is going to cause there to be a lot of difficulty for you. But then I want to talk about the fourth thing, which many people make decisions based on it, but it must never be an influencer in your decision-making process, and that is pressure. Many people make decisions based on pressure. Now, this is very different from the thing of peers, but this is about pressure. Like, for example, I may be in a financial need right now. I may be going through a difficult season right now. And then I decide maybe I need to just sell off my property because I need to have money in my hand. The pressure that I have makes me probably just do away with things that I've accumulated or acquired over time without having a plan of how I am going to get myself back on my feet. So I'm just thinking I need to have money. So I have all this pressure. Sometimes people are under pressure and then they quit their job, or people are under pressure and then they take up a job. People are under pressure and they do something, sell an asset, cut off a relationship. They make decisions based on pressure because at that particular point they do not see like there's going to be a tomorrow, and they feel that the situation that is prevalent at that particular point is the situation that is going to abide. Now, I've just had time to give you like 4 of them. My prayer, though, is that you're going to guard yourself and be able to make decisions based on number 5, which is principle. Number 5, that you make your decisions based on principle, not on your pressure, not because of your peers, not even based on your personality, because sometimes, you may make wrong decisions based on that personality. Sometimes it will work for you, but that should not be the basis of you making your decisions. It should not even be to the place of your preparedness, because sometimes great opportunities will come to you and you're not even prepared, but they're great opportunities. So I would urge you, you must develop certain principles that you have that cause you to make the decisions that you need to make, especially when those decisions have got to do greatly with your future. Well, that's all the time that I've had for you right now. You got to keep it right here, always at the CJ Scott.